welcome to another episode of ARWP, the All Real Wrestling Podcast. I am your host, Eric Novak, and today we have a special guest, Karam.
Hey, what's up, man? First, I want to say it is pronounced Karam. But it's okay. Everyone says it like that at first. I know it could be a different name.
I apologize for that. I apologize for that. That's my fault. I should have, probably looked it up, seen some, I should have seen that how the announcers say it. My bad.
Oh yeah, no worries.
Do the announcers also make that mistake, like in your matches?
Sometimes. But I've been good at stressing on it. I'll go up to them like 5 times before a show and be like, "What's my name? What's my name? What's my name?" And then sometimes they will get it wrong still.
Really?
Yeah, but it's okay.
All right. Well, let's start with, let's do the first question, and that's what made you want to pursue this interesting thing we call pro wrestling?
Oh, okay. Well, I come from a powerlifting and theater background. So when I was growing up, I did about 8-9 years of theater, and then I also competed in powerlifting. I was obviously a fan growing up, so it was kind of like both those two worlds put together, theatrics and athleticism. It always interested me.
Awesome. All right. Well, I also did theater for a long time, so that's really cool. That theater is what got you to do wrestling.
What plays you do?
I did a lot of Romeo and Juliet. I did a lot of Shakespeare stuff in high school through middle school. I didn't want to.
Oh, really cool.
And I'm doing interviews now, so what's more acting than just improvise,
Right. Yeah, that's kind of. I always say wrestling's like the ultimate form of theater in a sense, because you're doing everything, breaking the fourth wall, improving, being athletic, choreographing. Every time you make a match, it's cool, man.
Awesome. All right, well, tell me the first time you got in the ring, you laced up your boots and you walked in that ring. Tell me how that must have felt.
It was just a fair show. So I was just it was right next to a horse barn, and I didn't get paid or anything like that. I just worked. It was cool. I kind of went in knowing that's how it is. You go and work in these type of shows and the fairs and stuff like that. But it was cool. I was pursuing something, and the journey's always fun. So I was excited. It was good. It was fun.
Awesome. All right, and you stick by it, which means that you must have found it. So tell me.
Yeah. It was cool, man. I like performing, and I like being athletic, and I like everything about it. I don't know. I like being the center of attention in a sense.
All right. Well, with the quarantine going on, a lot of wrestling's been paused. What have you been doing? What have you been have you been getting any contracts? Have you been looking through any of your work about what you're gonna do after quarantine?
Oh man, I don't know. I've just kind of been winging it. It came out of nowhere, so I'm sure a lot of wrestlers can agree that we don't really know what to do with ourselves right now besides picking those shows that are very spread apart too. I only worked twice this quarantine, the whole quarantine, and that's I don't know, man. I couldn't give you an answer. I'm just kind of hanging out, working out, just getting ready for whatever is coming next.
All right, understandable. You have it somewhat good because a lot of wrestlers can't even wrestle during the quarantine. So the fact that you could, do it once or twice, better than nothing,
Yeah, a lot of shows have been canceled. I had a few lined up, so I'm even afraid to take bookings even until late in the year or even next year. We don't know what's going to happen, especially with this half lockdown, half not type of thing that's going on. I don't know where you are, but I'm in Detroit, and only some gyms are privately open.
At least you have gyms. I wish I had.
Yes.
Gyms.
Yeah. We're not supposed to, but now they're just kind of opening them anyways, getting the police called on them. So we're just it can go away tomorrow. My gym just closed today, so I'm searching for another one.
I'm in one of the worst, but I'm in New York where it's tons of people. So for now we're shut down, and even restaurants are slowly gonna be shut down again because of the winter time. No seating outdoors. It's gonna be.
No one's wearing a mask.
No one's wearing a mask. Exactly. It's terrible. But what can we do? Hopefully, a year or whenever.
Right.
You know, I've seen a lot of your matches in AAW. I've seen a lot of promos. I've seen a lot of stuff going on with you and Rohit. Rohit just won the X Division Championship. I don't know if you're aware of that.
Yeah, of course I am. Of course I am. That's awesome. Yeah,
How
I
do you
call him
feel?
Hakim. What is it?
How do you feel about Hakim? How do you feel about because I spoke to him. He was on the podcast. He shared a lot
Yeah.
about your tag team with him. He shared about a lot about how like he wants to do more about the mic. He wants to do more about helping
Yeah.
out the tag team division. Tell me what you feel. Tell me how you feel about giving finally him getting a chance and a run at a title.
Oh, deserving. It's man, he's been through so much in that company, kind of like overshadowed in a lot of ways. Where it's like that's totally unfair because he's one of. I think he's one of the best wrestlers in the independent scene today, and I'm not saying that because I'm his friend or I'm his tag partner. I legitimately believe that, and to finally showcase that and to finally get the title he deserves, I think that's awesome. Just awesome. I'm so happy for him, and I'm excited for what we do next. We don't know when AAW is gonna come back yet, but we were really killing it over there, so we're just looking to get back in Chicago. So, but yeah, totally happy for him. So deserving. I love that guy, man. He really took me on like under his wing and taught me a lot. So
That's amazing.
yeah.
That's great. It's great to see him getting the push and it's
Course.
a long way to push. Another thing that always I think about, it's like bringing you to the Impact roster. Yeah, you have the Daisy Hit Squad, but I never saw Shira and Rohit as like
Yeah.
a tag team because they didn't have the chemistry that you and him do. There's
Right.
no chemistry, but I could see Shira and you. That would be an unstoppable tag team in my opinion. In my opinion, that'd be destructive. And he already has that soul potential. I could see him going to main division as well. After he loses the X division, he could go easily against Eddie Edwards and all that other stuff. I just wish that like they did more. Daisy Hit Squad. It's a big deal. They're trying to reach a number of populations to increase wrestling, to increase stardom. But I
Right.
feel like they're being overlooked. Like as Rohit even said, like Daisy Hit Squad's been one of the most overlooked things. How do you feel about how the Daisy Hit Squad's been treated? If you keep up with Impact, if not, then we'll just go to a different question.
I'm familiar with how they're treated, and it's a shame because they're all super talented. It's always like hit or miss with those things that are about the race or the color of your skin. And I'm not bashing what Impact's doing or something like that. But the reason why I like me and Hakim, the hustle and the muscle, is because it's not about that. I'm Arab, he's black and Indian, but we ain't about that, and we're not put in that box. And I think whenever you put people in a box like that, whenever you put people in a certain, like, oh, they're Indian and this is an Indian group, or oh, I'm Arab, so let me put a hatuagal or something like that, or a turban, something like that, and it's always gonna hinder, I think, a push or anything. And I think it's so cool that Hakim was able to pass that, get out of that stereotype, and now Rohit's not really. You're not looking at him like, oh, that's the Indian character.
Yeah.
You're looking at, that's Rohit. Oh, that he's sleazy.
That's the
He
hitman.
stole that title.
That's the hitman.
And that goes to show how good he is because he went past that. He broke that stereotype, even though they put him there. And I think that's just the issue with those groups. I think it's outdated. I don't think it should happen, and maybe because when I was breaking in, everybody wanted to put me in a box. Oh, you should showcase your ethnicity. I got my name in Arabic on my tights. My name is Karam, Karam. That's my name right there. I'm something, and people will know that. But I think that's just the issue and why someone would be slowed down. And none of those should be held in something like that because everybody who is in that group is super talented and should be beyond that. Be proud of your ethnicity, but I think when a company puts, in a box like that, it's always a struggle.
Yeah, it's like it's marketing you. It's marketing. I get exactly.
And I get it. They did it for, certain viewers and stuff like that. And that's totally cool. And like I said, and I think putting Hakim Rohit in that group just makes it much better,
All right, awesome. Well, tell me more about yourself. Tell me about, the largest crowd you ever worked and the smallest crowd you ever worked.
Oh, man. So I worked for Evolve consistently prior to their pandemic, issues, and them and AAW were the biggest crowds I worked in. With Evolve, it was cool because I got to work New York and Queens. That was really big. And yeah, those two, and they're the wildest. It's fun. I love Chicago and I love New York. Those are the most fun. The big cities and stuff.
Of course.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, I gotta ask you, since you have had a background in Evolve, have you been speaking to Evolve even before the quarantine? Like, were you planning to do more shows for them before they made their decisions? So now that they did make their most recent decision, that I'm sure you heard of, that WWE basically bought Evolve, right? I'm sure that's what's been going around. That's what's been said.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that's 100% true. I mean, the actual roster can say it. Have they spoken to you? Because you are part of the roster. You're part of that company hold. Has WWE like? I'm trying to figure out what's going on with the Evolve roster mainly. With what Evolve did, what's gonna happen to the actual roster that's in Evolve?
Bro, it's so my relationship was with Gabe, and I still have a good relationship with Gabe. As far as the relation, like with me and him, it's just a wrestler to promoter, and we talk here and there and stuff like that. But as far as like what they did with Evolve and if WWE owns it or anything like that, who's signed, who's not, I have no idea. I have no clue. Obviously there was close affiliation with WWE, and I got to work with some NXT talent through them, and it was awesome. But I wasn't also signed. I was a consistent worker, and I was told don't sign anything, so I can work there and stuff. But I was never officially signed, so I don't know if I had any affiliation with WWE. I was more of like the handshake deal, if that makes sense.
It does make sense, and I feel like I think that's what's better, because if let's say you were signed, who knows what could have happened to you right now, right? Who knows what the decision would have been made. That's why it's always good, because these companies like Evolve, I knew they had a friendship with WWE. I just never knew that they would sell to WWE. Now they can just make that their own show and use their own roster for it. So sadly, a lot of people who did work at Evolve fluently and like made a name for themselves probably got released. I mean, that's just my idea of it. I'm not trying to make a rumor. I'm just saying it's what I believe.
Yeah, I don't know. Everyone who I've spoken to, who I met through Evolve, is doing all right. I think how the world is now, everything's just going to reset. And I'm thankful for what I did with them, and they're going to start putting things on the network from there, and I'm forever grateful for that, because that's a sense of immortality, right? So yeah, I got nothing but good things to say on that end. I don't know anything beyond that point.
All right, not a problem. So you did talk about your largest crowd scenes. Tell me about the shortest amount of people that were the smallest crowd you've ever worked.
The small, man, I don't know, somewhere in Toledo. Yeah, so just some random show in Toledo. It was when I first started. Yeah, honestly, man, I did a lot of those. Like you probably know, a lot of people do a lot of wrestlers do a lot of those when they first start. I did a lot of those to get ring work so I can work every week and things like that. Yeah, maybe it was like 30 people, 20 people.
All right, it's not bad at all.
Luckily, I never had less than 20. So
that's not bad at all. All right, well, tell me, about your character. Tell me, how is this, like, what's your vision for your character? What do you want your character to be in? Because you talked about it. A lot of companies will look at you and they'll make you into what they believe that you should be. What is your character? What's character that you want to be? You can be, a tag partner. You can be your own guy. But who is it that you want to be? What's your dream character?
Man, that is such an interesting question, because you asked me this and I don't really know how to say it. And so I'm 24 years old. I've been wrestling since last year a year ago, August. I mean, not August, a year and 6 months ago. Okay. So close to like 2 years now. Man, I'm still figuring myself out. Luckily, I'm given these, I work hard on my look and my physique, and I think that's an important factor of, look the part and be the part. And that's probably part of who I am. And that also allows me to get acknowledged a bit quicker and get opportunities to be surrounded by good people to help me with these questions, you know, and I don't know, and I'm figuring that out. You know, I'm young in the business. I'm super green, and like I said, luckily I've been given opportunities to grow and figure out more and more who I am, but I don't know who I am, and I think that's just part of the journey, and I think it's coming together, and especially with Hakim and doing all that, I think with promos and everything, it'll come together, but man, I don't know. I know there's things that come out naturally that I'm figuring out, but I don't know if this is too complicated of an answer.
It's fun. It's
yeah,
fun. You're not so, you know, I like it better when I get these kind of answers instead of the actual answers. You know, I like the fact that you don't know what you want to do. You started, you know, you're still developing. That means that we can see so many outcomes of what your character could be instead of what we, you know, like if you just told us what you're going to be, everyone would be like, okay, that's what he wants to do. Now it's the mystery. And I think the mystery is always more important than like just straight up answer.
Right. You know, and yeah, like I said, man, and given the opportunity, I surround myself with good people. Like Jake something trained me, you know, and then I furthered my training a little bit at Can-Am, you know, Scott D'Amore School with Johnny Bravo. He's like my wrestling dad, you know, so we talk all the time. And then I get paired with Hakim, and then I get opportunity here and there, and that just helps me grow. And I'm thankful for all of that because I think I'm headed in the right direction. You know,
of course.
We just need things to pick back up for me to, you know, just continue that. And maybe we'll have another conversation where I'll be able to answer that for you.
I'm looking forward to it. I would love that. We'll plan that.
Sure.
We'll plan that when the time comes. But for now, you know, as you're sitting at home, you know, as you're, you know, working out, building up, you know, slowly trying to figure out who you want to do in the next year, you know, what character you want to be. Have you been watching any of the product? Have you been watching all kinds of wrestling?
Yeah, I've been watching a lot of Impact, not just because my friends are on there, but honestly, it's so slept on. Like, have you been keeping up with the product?
It's my favorite.
It's great.
Impact's my favorite.
Yeah, dude, it's honestly, I watch a lot of that, and I watch a lot of like WA and the old and the new one, and I watch a lot of old stuff. I wrestle slower, more methodical, in that I like storytelling, so I like to watch like 80s wrestling and things to see the skeleton of what we do today. And I watch a lot of that. Yeah, so it's a lot of like Impact and NWA is what I'm watching right now.
Yeah, Impact's at its game, you know. Right now, we're giving Eddie Edwards a championship, giving Rohit Heat the title, you know. Now, Impact and the tag team division has never been better, in my opinion. You have so many amazing tag matches. Yeah, I love Impact. Impact's definitely been working really hard during the quarantine to give us.
I will say, and you'll be the first to hear it. I will be doing a few things with OVW. I don't know exactly what day yet, but it will be soon. And they run their weekly shows as well. So I know that streams on Roku and stuff like that. So I'll be doing that. As you know, Al Snow runs it now. So, you know, we'll see how that goes.
We'll look out for you.
Yeah, for sure.
Also, you know, tell me, have you been catching up with AEW, the new product that's been releasing? Have you been catching up with that?
AEW?
Yeah.
I watch mostly the YouTube videos. I'm like a Netflix, Hulu, those apps, Crunchyroll, anime. I don't have like live TV, so
that's perfect.
Like, I watch SmackDown and Raw on Hulu, and you know, I have the network and stuff like that. But I'm not. I have to like search. I kind of like pick and choose online when I'm watching. You know, things like that.
Yeah.
So kind of watching it, kind of not. You know.
Well, that's perfect because I'm not talking about AEW the Wednesday product. I'm talking about the Tuesday product where they got so many independent talent.
Yes.
So like that, I want to hear what you have to say about that because that's AEW did something new that no other company really does. Yes, there's Impact Explosion where they did that, but that's so overlooked right now because they use a lot of their own roster against their roster, which again there's nothing wrong with that. They just want to see more of the same wrestlers. But what WWE does is they have jobber matches where you lose in a minute, or you get thrown out or eliminated or whatever. But AEW actually brings new talent in and gives them a good 20-30 minute normal match where you could see
Yeah.
full talent. How do you feel about that? How do you feel? Have you been watching a lot of that stuff, AW Dark?
Yeah. I did some stuff with Eddie Kingston with The Unwanted and things like that on Evolve. I was with them for a show, and then so he was like a dude that I always when I watched him wrestle, I was like, how is he not signed? And to see like companies giving those kind of people who have been in the indies forever or who just need someone the right eye to look at them. I mean, dude, that's good for everybody. You know, I got nothing but good things to say about that. You know, I can only wish someone acknowledges me and to give me that opportunity. You know, maybe I should just call someone out, but it's not how I roll. They got to notice me, all right? I'm big enough for that. But no, but I think it's great, man. You know, any more wrestling for everybody, more exposure for is good for the business. So, yeah, that's my guess.
It's amazing because, like, if you look at it a couple of years ago, there was no NWA televised. There was no AEW, and you know, competition is not necessarily a bad thing for a wrestler because that means there's so many more opportunities. If this place doesn't want me, that place will. You know, there's millions of. What would be your dream place? Well, I mean, you could say like, not your end goal. So when I say dream, I'm not saying your end goal. Your end goal could be whatever you want it to be. But what about your startup? Is it gonna be MLW, NWA, ROH, Impact? You know, so much. What would be one company that you would love to sign to for your startup, your big break?
I think I can make, and I'll say it like this because I will be open to any opportunity. I don't necessarily have a favorite, but I will say that I think I can make the most impact in NWA and MLW. Just so I've seen what they have and what they do, and I just think I could fit there really well. And those would be places where, you know, I would like to talk to and get opportunities to showcase myself because I think they would like what they would see. You know, those two really stick out to me. It's something that I want to do right now. And then obviously I have bigger goals long term. You know, those are the two that I definitely want to work at soon. You know, maybe the goal in the next few years that maybe I can get there.
Awesome. All right. Well, tell me now. We're going to the fun part of the interviews. Name me a few matches that you already done with other people that you want everyone to check out. So, anyone that's listening to this right now, who is a fan of yours from listening to this, who has been a long-term fan, or just now, you know, is hearing you for the first time, because that's what we try to do. We try to get the name out. We try to get wrestlers.
Yeah.
We're trying to get more out there. What are some matches that you can direct people to check out that shows?
Man. You know, I know, there's the Evolve matches I want people to see, but I think the tapes are now handed to the Fed. So I don't know how, because you used to be able to stream them on WWN.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't know if you still could, but there's a Fatal 4-Way match with me, Kurt Stallion, Daniel Garcia, and Sharkbait Anthony Gutierrez. And man, that match is killer. Like, good. There's a match that I uploaded. It was for the WWN recruitment camp. It's myself versus Cam Carter on YouTube. You can YouTube that. I'll send you a link to it.
Awesome.
And then
I'll put it in. Yeah, I'll put it in the bio.
Yeah, for sure. And then, man, I don't know where. Man, and then, you know what's funny is when I worked Myron at AAW. I was actually wrestling with a torn pec.
Really?
That was my like first opportunity. I'm going against Myron Reed.
Wow.
And my first like singles match on the main roster, not pre-show. And I was like, oh man, dude, I tore my pec. I got surgery on it. That was before the surgery. And then a week after I got surgery, and then I came back in like 3 months after surgery, just all healed up, like Super Cena style. And then to be able to go back again, like at the beginning of the year, you know, but then pandemic happened, so I was able to rest up a little more. But check that match out just because there was a fun fact with that. It's not one of my favorite ones, but it's one of those moments, like that was my first time, my first opportunity at AAW, and maybe that will be cool sometime to see. So check that out too.
Awesome. All right. And you know, I talk about AEW, I talk about Impact, Explosion. Another thing that I gotta mention, because this is what it is, you know, this is the time we're at. So many companies are trying a lot harder than others. New Japan Pro Wrestling has done another amazing job with getting independent talent. I don't know if you've been checking it out. Danny Limelight, who will be versing Rocky Romero, tonight. They've gotten so much independent. Alex Zane, I don't know if you're familiar.
Yeah.
They got so much. I feel like it's the hottest, even though this is one of the worst times. I feel like independent talent is being looked at so much right now due to the fact that a lot of these companies are in need of talent, in need of entertainment. How do you feel? Have you been catching up with any of the New Japan Pro Wrestling stuff? Any of like the new recruitments or like the dojos or stuff like that?
No, but I'm going to check it out now. I haven't actually. I'm a little bit. I need to watch a lot more Japanese wrestling, New Japan, and all that stuff. I tend to stick with what I know, and I'm gonna check it out now. That's intriguing, man. And because I love Japanese culture too, that's just a place I would love to go to as well. But I don't even think about it because it's so far out there for me right now. But I'm gonna check it out.
Awesome. All right, now we're getting to like our final few questions, but tell the people you got 5 matches. Who are dream matches you want to face in the next upcoming? And I know there's tons of people. You gotta give me 5. You gotta give me just 5.
Yeah. I'm gonna give more realistic ones that could maybe happen.
All right.
Jake something. I want a singles next to Jake something. I want another one with Myron Reed, healed up, healthy.
Right.
Trey Miguel, Daniel Garcia in a singles, and Kurt Stallion in a singles. Those are 5 dream ones right now that maybe I can get in the next 3 years or so. Let's see that. I like to make dream matches very realistic and making goals and stuff like that. But if I'm thinking I would love a match with Rey Mysterio. Fuck. I'm sorry, bro.
All right. Well, you just named them hella quick. That was. I thought that was gonna be a little bit of a time. Name me another 5. Give me some more because there's so many. You gotta name me like a booker who's listening to this right now has to book these matches. You gotta give me main event. And those are good, but I want some fans to tweet this. We want this guy versus this guy. I want this to be a worldwide. Help me out.
Oh, Cody Rhodes, Sonny Kiss. Man, who? This is hard. Yeah, those 2 for sure. I would love a match with. Seth Rollins. I'll say Rey Mysterio again because I'm not throwing it in there. Rey Mysterio, and then I don't know. John Morrison.
All right, I like it. All right.
There you go.
All right, that's a good 10. Let's hope some bookers listening to this and we can book these matches. Get something.
Right.
All right. Well, we are winding down. Tell me where people can find your social medias, your merchandise. Where can people support you? How can people support you more? What do you want people that are listening to this to do to help you out during this time, or to check you out? During this time.
Yeah. Honestly, man, just follow me on Instagram and Twitter. I usually put all my info, matches, and where to buy my stuff on there. It's Karam Pro _. Yeah, at Karam Pro _. Check those out. I usually put all the info. I don't have any website for my shirts and stuff, but I put them up on there frequently.
Awesome. All right. Thank you so much for everyone for listening. Thank you so much for being on with us.
Thank you.
Really appreciate it.
Yeah.
All right, guys. I hope you enjoyed that video. I hope you guys learned something. If you have not yet, please go follow Karam on all his social media pages that are in the bio below. And if you have not yet, please follow me on all my social media pages, also in the bio below. Please tell your friends. Please like, comment, subscribe, and share. And I cannot even tell you guys how many awesome interviews are coming up. I did so many that are gonna blow your mind. There's gonna be so many cool ones coming out very, very soon. And I just want to thank each and every one of you who have been there since day one and have been pushing and have been helping me in any way possible and just supporting ARWP, the All Real Wrestling Podcast. It has been a pleasure giving you guys all this new information, being on all these websites, just being known. It's been so amazing. It's been such an honor. So I just want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart, and I'm not giving up. I'm not stopping anytime soon. This is just the beginning. There is so much more in the works, and I'll see you guys in another new video.